As I sit here making a special 250 subscriber video, I'm nearly at 300 already, and that absolutely floors me. I just want to say, I would have had this video out earlier, but I kind of went from like 220 to 250 subscribers in one day, thanks to a YouTube short I did which absolutely exploded, and that really disrupted the video making process for this project specifically. But I'm not going to complain. I thank all of you guys so much, it means a ton to me. If you're here and haven't subscribed, it really would make my day if you did so. Anyway, to celebrate this amazing milestone, we're going to be doing something kind of fun. We're going to use the random page feature in Wikipedia to build structures in 5 cities, towns, and or villages around the world. For this video, I will not be using pages about specific buildings. I might do that another time. We'll see. I'll also have no more than one location per country. Anyway, let's get started. Here we have our first one, a village in Poland that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. These seem to be actually pretty common on Wikipedia. Anyway, let's check out what data we've got. Alright, let's see what we've got here. So, let's see if we go to satellite. Oh, that's some weird imagery right there. This one looks brighter, easier to see, so we'll go something in here. Let's check out the street view. Okay, perfect. Do something random here. You know what? I'm thinking this little thing shaped like Nevada would be perfect. Oh yeah, let's do that. Alright, let's get going. This was a decently difficult build as I had to infer for quite a bit of it that lacked street view. The satellite imagery was not tilted, but it was still not great and it made things a lot more difficult to outline as well as TPLL too. The windows were somewhat difficult, mainly due to the angle and especially on the slightly extended parts of the build, and the ground details here were hard to pinpoint. Overall, it took me close to 2.5 hours to get this whole property done. Oof, this looks like it may be tough. There are lots of these little villages in Iran. I doubt there'd be street view here, but maybe there's map size reference images. Alright, let's see what we have to work with here. Okay, not a whole lot of structures. Now for the magic test. Oh, we actually got some street view. Alright. Probably use those. Okay, yep. I think I'll be doing this place. We got any other places to show this one? We do. Alright, let's go. I'll be building that place. This was a hard build. In addition to the 2 panoramas I had to use some other Google images to attempt to see what was on the sides of this building, though unfortunately I wasn't really able to find any, only ones that helped me with the roof. On a side note, it was the first build in BTE that I've ever done that I've been able to use magma blocks for, but I doubt I'd find another one anytime soon. The satellite imagery was also very rough to use, and once again I had to infer a lot for this build, and it ended up taking about an hour and a half to finish. Oh man, this one's gonna be hard. Just like with Iran, there's so many of these little rural villages in Russia and hardly any have street view. I am already concerned by the apparent lack of roads, and oh boy. Okay, that's a small place. Nope, no street view. Alright, we've got one image to work with. Let's see if we can utilize that to our advantage. This build was actually not very difficult. The complete lack of imagery everywhere I looked only allowed me to do details based on a single Google image I had. The satellite imagery here was worse than any other location for this randomizer, and I was basically unable to match a lot of it to the Google image, as in the latter the village was covered in snow, which made it harder to see individual buildings and structures as well as surrounding ground details. Because of my inability to properly recreate this, I only spent about 25 minutes total on it. If anyone knows somewhere I could find images for it, I would gladly fix it up at some point. I'm not sure whether this would have any imagery or not. I've never built in Honduras before, so I'm not really sure what the street view coverage would be. Alright, this seems to be a decent sized place. Maybe I'll have some... Nope, no street view. But... some decent satellite imagery. Has a lot of things on Google, so... Okay, so we've got a few different things here that we can do. A lot of images, so... let's see what we have to work with. Despite the lack of street view, I was able to utilize enough images from Google to build the Palacio Municipal, which is essentially the mayor's office if I recall correctly. While I still did have to infer for the sides I couldn't see, it wasn't a very detailed building, and it was easy to recreate, so I finished in about 40 minutes. I've never heard of this place. I hope it's at least got some street view or maybe some images online. Alright, final place. Questioning whether or not I should have done this because it looks like an unincorporated community. But, I mean, it should be work fine enough. Let's go in here. Okay. Nope, no street view. Okay, so this is like the main street. I guess that really goes to show you how small this place is, so I'll probably do something along here then. This was a difficult one. I was really fighting the terrain generation here, and I had to rely on images from essentially only two very similar angles. I once again inferred for the back and the sides of it, as apparently those parts of this historic building were not very important. I'm just glad there were at least some pictures of it online. I wasn't about to drive 3 hours just to get some reference pictures. I mean, I wouldn't have anyway, but I digress. It took me about 45 minutes to build this, mainly due to the terraforming as well as the tight space in which I had to detail everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed and want to see more of what I do, check out my channel trailer here, and don't forget to check out my other socials down below.